Hello everyone and welcome to Vlogmas Day 17. Today is going to be a quick little Q&A. So a couple of days ago I put a little story on my Instagram telling you guys to ask me questions, any questions that you may have. Go ahead and answer a couple of them today. A good amount of them are also repeats or really similar. I hope all of this answers your questions. If you still have questions after this video, of course feel free to DM me on Instagram or comment down below and I will try my best to answer it. I have some of the questions screenshotted here on my phone, so I'm just going to read them off. For one, any advice for high school students that want to be a dentist? If you're currently a high school student that's interested in dentistry, I totally recommend shadowing a dentist when you have the time to. You can shadow a dentist during like a week-long break, you can go on a weekend, you can go consistently for a month, you can go consistently for a year. There isn't a specific amount of time that you should be shadowing. It's really helpful to shadow for a couple of days so you can really see what the day-to-day life of a dentist looks like. This will help you really clarify if this is something you are willing to do for the rest of your life or if it's actually something that you're interested in. Shadow general dentists. If you have time, shadow some dentists that are in specialties, and then that'll also pique different interests that you might have within the dental field. Another little tip for high school students, just to keep up your studies. Pay attention in school just so that your future education isn't as difficult. Get as great grades as you can so that you can apply for college and then later dental school. Create really good study habits because you're going to need them in the future. Next question, what other schools were you choosing between before deciding on OHSU and why OHSU? I had a pretty good list of schools that I was accepted to. I did apply to a lot of schools. Later in the application cycle, when I had like a list of the schools that I had gotten accepted to, I was able to cross off a couple of them as I was comparing different things about different schools. Came close to the deposit day. The top two schools that I had were UMKC and OHSU. I ended up choosing OHSU because it was, out of all of the schools that I had interviewed at, my favorite interview experience. All the faculty members that interviewed me, as well as the students who were there for the Q&A portion, everybody seemed to really love the school and be passionate about what they do here. So like the most chill interview. All the interviewers genuinely seemed like they wanted to get to know me rather than like testing me, you know. It was more of a conversation, so I really appreciated that. Also really liked how beautiful the campus was, and Oregon is also closer to home. The facilities here at OHSU are beautiful. Like everything is new. I heard a lot of great things about the school as compared to like other schools that I had applied to. Like the best option for me, like everything seems so amazing. OHSU also seems really like modern and up to date with like technologies, and I thought that that was a really great part of our education. To be able to work with the newer technologies is something that I really looked for in a school. OHSU had a lot to offer, so that's why I ended up choosing that school. Pros and cons of OHSU, kind of like what I said earlier, it's so up to date. We have an entire portion of our clinic dedicated to CAD/CAM. If you don't know what CAD/CAM is, it's like computer aided design and manufacturing. Basically digital dentistry. You get to like scan and then mill and create these things like through machines rather than taking your conventional impressions and things like that. I just really love the culture here at the school. Everybody is super supportive. I feel like there's no sense of competition at all. Every student and every faculty member really wants you to succeed. It's like a really collaborative environment, and I feel well supported by my classmates and staff. And something else about the school that's great is that it's a pass-fail school. It takes off a lot of stress. Another pro is that Oregon is a great place to be. We're so close to the mountains, to the beach, to major cities. You can drive an hour west and be at the ocean. You can drive a couple hours north and you'll be in Seattle, be able to watch all these professional games. We also have the Blazers here. You can go south and go a little more rural as well as east. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. There's a lot of mountains here, so if you're big on skiing and snowboarding. But then a con is that Oregon rains a lot. It's not horrible because you're going to be studying a lot. I feel like that can be difficult, especially if you're coming from like out of state. Homesick in the beginning and then having to deal with some gloomy, like sadder weather can be kind of difficult. All con about the school is I kind of wish that there were more organizations. We do have a lot of clubs and organizations here at the school. That many events that happen. Granted that COVID kind of just ended. School kind of just lifted COVID precautions. My first 2 years we still had a good amount of COVID precautions in place. We weren't able to have a lot of big events at the school. Things are slowly getting back to normal, so it's really exciting. Everything is back in place by the time I graduate, but that's something I really wish we had more of, but COVID's kind of to blame for that, so I guess it's not really something about the school. But I definitely think that that's something that's already in place, and we've been seeing more things pop up. So in the very near future, it'll definitely be great. What was your favorite class at OHSU? I think that my favorite class at OHSU has been aesthetic dentistry. I learned so much in that class, and it was so fun to just see like before and after photos, like actual clinical cases. Got to prep for a bunch of veneers and crowns and bridges. I don't know if it's the same class, but we were able to learn how to like stain and glaze. We were like shading and painting a little darker in areas that you might have grooves, or to know to put like white or blue in areas that it might be a little brighter on your crown. Also learned a lot about dental photography. It was just a really fun class. Like the aesthetic part of dentistry is really exciting just because you can change so much about a person's smile, but it was really fun to like practice a bunch of restorations during that class. We were doing like tons of restorations, which was lots of fun. Next question, how are you 23 in your third year? I actually only did 3 years of undergrad. It was like a year early when I came to dental school. So I'm like one of the youngest ones in my class. There are a couple of us who are my age. I'd done like 3 years of college or 3 years of high school. Majority of my classmates are 2 years older than me. Everyone in my class, I feel like we're all the same age, and I feel like age is just a number. Was the transition to dental school hard? I think it was a little difficult. When you first start dental school, your term is a little slower, at least for our school. Once you get to your fall term, you really hit the ground running. You go from like slower moving and less classes in undergrad to a ton of classes that are all fast-paced in dental school. So I think that's a really big transition. It's just you trying to transition to like living in a new space, or like living on your own, as well as like picking up new skills, your hand skills, trying to adapt to having so many classes, learning new study skills. It's a lot of learning things really fast and having so much to juggle, so time management is really big. But I feel like after that first term or two, you really get the hang of it, and it's not as difficult for sure. Favorite memory so far in school? I feel like there was a lot of fun things. We had a softball tournament our second year of like between the classes, and our class did really well compared to the other classes, and we won the tournament. Was able to go to Las Vegas with a bunch of my classmates for a conference. Like overall, my favorite memory was my white coat ceremony. Able to just celebrate that transition from like sim clinic to clinic, and to have like all of your family fly into town, celebrate everything with your class was really fun. And it was also really fun to show my family around like the campus and to show them sim clinic and that kind of stuff. That was the hardest semester of school. At OHSU, we actually do terms instead of semesters, so we have 4 terms: summer, fall, winter, and spring. I think that the hardest term so far has been the fall term of my second year. That was just like the most classes we've ever had. We also had so many sim clinic projects, so I was spending a lot of time after school and on the weekends like making sure I finished my projects, as well as like studying. And then when it came to finals week, I think we had like 12 or more finals. I don't think the content itself was like super hard. It was just being able to manage all of these assignments and exams. Next question, what did you major in? In undergrad, I was a biology major, so I got my bachelor's of science in biology with an emphasis in pre-medicine. I was a pre-med major. My school didn't have a pre-dentistry major. I didn't have to take any classes outside of my major in order to fulfill the requirements to apply to dental school. How can I prepare before starting dental school? Congratulations to all of you who have gotten acceptances already. That is such an amazing accomplishment. And if you haven't gotten an acceptance yet, do not worry, there's so much time left. Gotten into dental school and you don't know what to do, I definitely recommend just relaxing, just really soaking up these last couple of months and days that you have with your friends and family. There's nothing that you can really do to prepare for dental school. Definitely don't study or like try to learn things before you get here, because I promise there's going to be enough time for you to learn everything. Yes, a lot of the material is thrown at you, but everybody else is in the same boat. Instructors and staff and faculty all understand that this is all brand new to you, so I feel like they're all going to be very patient. Last couple of months are definitely the best time to just like relax and go on a trip, or you know, out with your friends and family. You're gonna be in school pretty much year round, and you're gonna miss being able to like have that freedom of like going on a random trip for a week or so, or just flying home to see your family. So definitely just relax and soak it all in. It's definitely gonna be a journey with lots of ups and downs. Mentally prepare to grow and to fail and to succeed. There's just like so much that goes into dental school. Best part about living in Oregon, I kind of talked about this earlier, but there's just so much to do here. If you're an outdoors person, there's a lot to do. Portland also has a lot of good food. Most of them are in the city though, but Lots of good Thai food or Mediterranean foods. And is also kind of known for like food carts, so there's a lot of like food cart pods in the area. There's like 10 to 15 food carts just like all parked around each other, and you can just go there with a bunch of friends. Everyone can go and like eat different carts. How many students are in your class? At OHSU we have a class of 75 students. I know that we've lost a couple students like as we've gone through the years, so I think my class is at 70 or maybe a little higher, I'm not entirely sure, but you start off at 75. It's typically like 50-50 or like 60-40 as far as female to male ratio. I think my class is like 60% males and 40% females. I know that the two classes below me are pretty much 50-50. I feel like we have people from all different cultures and ethnicities. Most of our classes are like half from Oregon/Washington area or Oregon colleges, and then everyone else is from like different countries or different states. And then our last question, what's your daily schedule like? Are you in school all day? Your daily schedule is different every single year. School technically is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. As a first and second year, you have classes every day, a bunch of lectures and sim clinic hours. So you might have sim clinic from 8 to 12 one day, and then another day it might be from 1 to 5. Some sim clinic classes are from 1 to 4, some are from like 9 to 12. I also assist and like have classes that might be like a hybrid class, so it kind of depends, but for the most part you have school from 8 to 5 and then you have a 1-hour lunch break from 12 to 1. For third and fourth year it's a little different because you see patients pretty much full-time. Currently I have clinic Monday through Friday, and Friday mornings we had class from 8 to 12, and as a third and fourth year you have lunch from 12 to 2 instead of 12 to 1. You see patients from 9 to 12 and 2 to 5. Appointment could be 1 hour long, so you could be done with the day by 3. It kind of just depends on how your appointments go. Generally you are in school from 8 to 5 and then have like a lunch break in between. But we also have Monday mornings off. We do have like huddles where like clinic team meet, but like our independent study, so it's your time to prepare for the week as well as study for classes that you have. For first and second years you don't start class till 1 o'clock on Mondays, and then for third and fourth years you don't have clinic till 2 on Mondays. We do have some obligations and some sessions that students are required to be at school for Monday mornings. That's only like 2 to 3 Mondays per term. But those were all the questions that I had for this video. Like I said, a lot of them are pretty similar, so I hope I answered everything for you. If you still have any more questions, go ahead and comment down below, and you can also DM me on Instagram at KylieCargs, and I will definitely answer those questions. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!